Narrowest margin possible, just one vote. The House approves the nomination of Andrew McDonald as the state Supreme Court Chief Justice.
After 4 hours of debate, the House voted 75 to 74. McDonald is Governor Malloy's former top aide and close friend. However, the nomination faces an uncertain future in the state Senate. Chief political correspondent Mark Davis joins us now with more on that. Mark.
Hi, Ann and Scott. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. Yeah, by just one vote, as you said, in the House of Representatives, this controversial nomination now moves on to the state Senate, where sources say it should come up for that final vote before the end of the month.
Justice McDonald is not just eminently qualified, he's ready.
The majority of the Democrats in the House held the position that the governor's longtime friend and aide is one of the most qualified people ever nominated to be the state's top judge.
First, I'd like to make it clear that the sexual orientation of this or any nominee that comes before us is not a factor.
The ranking Republican of the Judiciary Committee made it a point to rebut the contention that many Republicans are opposing McDonald's nomination because he would become the nation's first openly gay state Supreme Court Chief Justice.
They essentially created public policy.
Republicans' biggest argument was that McDonald was the deciding vote that overturned the state's death penalty, a statute he had worked on as a state senator and presumably consulted the governor on when he was his legal counsel. Republicans argued that McDonald should have recused himself from the case.
The court's duties and responsibilities is to take the facts and base it on their decision on only the facts, not create laws.
Rabimbus making the argument as Dr. William Pettit, now a state rep from Plainville, listened. The decision overturning the death penalty meant the men that killed his wife and children had their death penalties converted to life in prison.
Given what I feel is this bias, I am concerned about confirming a justice who has appeared to want to push a personal agenda and not directly interpret our laws.
Now, if Justice McDonald is to be given the final approval in the state Senate, it will likely take at least one Republican vote because, as we've reported earlier, one Democrat has recused herself from the vote. Now, it's 18 to 18 in the Senate now, Republicans and Democrats, minus one Democrat. It means it's 18 Republicans and 17 Democrats. So in order for him to pass, one of those Republicans would have to vote for him to create an 18-18 tie so the Democratic lieutenant governor could break that tie. We'll see what happens. As I said earlier, we've been told to expect a vote in the Senate by the end of the month. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.